Hey again, and welcome to BryzGarage. Today we're going to be changing out this expansion valve. Expansion valve is located right here. I'll show you a picture of it here in one sec. This is on a 2003 Hyundai Sonata V6 2.7 liter. I've already removed the bracket, but we're going to, by the power and magic of video, we're going to show you how we remove that. So I'm going to show you the expansion valve and all that good stuff. Okay, so this is our brand new shiny expansion valve we're gonna put in. This is the back of it. This is the front. I can tell that because of the bolts that are gonna go in it. And then on the top you'll see it looks a little different than that. That's just because that's a cap. We'll pull off that cap and just interchange it over this thing. So now we're gonna continue to take this expansion valve off, and I'm going to show you how to do that. First we'll remove that bracket that I was just showing you, and then we'll do our expansion valve itself. Alright, so to get to the low pressure line that's hooked to the expansion valve back there, we're going to want to remove this. It just makes it a lot easier. So there's 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4 that are on this bracket. So remove those brackets so we can push that aside and get to our expansion valve. Okay, so these are 10 millimeter bolts in here. Before we remove this bracket, just make sure you look at it before removal. This one you'll take off first, and it overlaps this one. So when you're putting it back together, this one will go on first, then this one overlaps afterwards. So just so you remember. Okay, so we removed the last bolt on this bracket that was sitting right here. It has a grounding strap connected to it. So when you're putting it back together, make sure you put that back on there before assembling it all. So now that we've got all that off, we can loosen this, push that to the side, and we can access our expansion valve and our lines. So we're going to remove these lines. There's 3 bolts in here. These are Thanx. This is a Thanx 30. It's the star looking one. Do not use an Allen wrench because you'll strip it, but it's a T30 is what this is. And there's 3 of them. One right there, one on the other side, and then one deep in the middle that's hard to see, that's holding your expansion valve on. So you'll want to remove all 3 of these. Okay, so we have the expansion valve off. As you can see, there's 2 gaskets that are on there. We're going to replace the gaskets. There's going to be 2 gaskets on the ends of these lines. We're going to be replacing those gaskets. So I'll show you that here in a sec. Again, your cap comes off, and we'll just throw that on to the new expansion valve. One thing I wanted to show you is there's three bolts. 2 of them are this size. They have washers, don't lose them. And then the last bolt, again, it's a Thanx, and it's smaller, and that's your middle one. So yeah, we're gonna pull off these lines from the expansion valve. Okay, so here's our old expansion valve. It's gold. Here's a new one. And anyway, like I said, we're going to transfer that little cap. It's a cap with foam inside of it. We're just going to set it on top, change out the gaskets, and throw this back on. Okay, so I put new seals on. Okay, so as far as our expansion valve goes, you can't really mess up. Large hole, small hole. Back here you got the same size, so it just goes like that. And then if you look on our high and low lines there, you know, this one's bigger, bottom one's smaller, so it just goes on like that. So we're going to put this on and put on our bracket and then bolt it down. Remember, the smaller of the bolts goes into the middle, and then the two longer ones go on each side of it. Okay, so expansion valve is in. Got all three bolts nice and tight. Remember, it's the Thanx 30. Now, next we're gonna put this back. However it goes, like that. So we're gonna put all those bolts in. Remember that this one has this grounding wire in the front. So we're gonna put that on. Then we're gonna put that other wire with the bracket on like so afterwards. But right now we're gonna mount this those brackets back on, and the ground wire. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this. If this video worked for you, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching BryzGarage.